Alright everybody, welcome to the FAB Team Cup. We are currently up 1-0 versus KFabe Cards. This is going to be the Card Guyz versus KFabe Cards. There are 5 single matches that we need to play. So we will end up playing 5 individual matches versus their team. I believe I'm the only one that had to play before this, as my opponent just couldn't, his time zone just, or his work schedule didn't line up for this. So we have the rest of the 4 matches tonight. I believe we've got Will on the right here versus MajiinBae on the left. Majin's on Iyslander and Will is on FAB. I had to play an Iyslander versus Kano for the first match, the one that I won. One of the rules for the team league is we all have to play different heroes on the team, so you won't see the same hero repeated on a single team, which kind of spices things up, gets people out of their comfort zone sometimes, and you kind of never know what you're going to play against. So I think this is a really cool format, and I'm expecting a lot of high quality play here. I know Majin's a fantastic Iyslander player, and Will's been playing FAB for quite a while now too, so this should be a good one.
Yep, this is my mic working?
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, you're good.
Okay, yeah, because I don't see Discord flashing up, but whatever. This is actually going to be a one of the more classic matchups, in that Dynasty didn't really change anything for these decks.
Whoa, did it? What is that, a snatch in Iyslander? What?
Big ol' snatch.
Oh, I think my TTS crashed. I'll rejoin because I don't see anything. I just saw the Ronin Renegade being played.
Well, looks like
we're on the whole next turn.
Yeah.
I was wondering. I was like, this is taking a while to play 3-go again.
That's one thing that I noticed about MajiinBae when he played in the Goliath Gauntlet series was his type of Iyslander style was he like really favors actually arsenaling an attack versus typical cards that you see. Like he had the choice to arsenal that frosting, and he clearly did not. So that's one thing that I noticed about his style.
Yeah, I think he actually likes to experiment with this Iyslander deck, try different things, and really value those red attacks, which is something I've actually been researching a little bit about how Hamilton plays Iyslander as well, and he's the same way. He highly values those red attacks. He's very, very willing to arsenal them, and very unwilling to block with them if he can help it.
Is Snatch kind of a new addition?
Yeah, that's not typical. If you're thinking about like the typical Hamilton build, then Snatch is not in that deck. So we got a Mounting Anger, good old classic 1-for-4. Majin's probably noticing that Will pitched a red for this Mounting Anger, so this Frostbite's probably going to hurt pretty bad.
Yep. Anytime you draw a red as FAB, you can't swing your Ember Blade, which is, a good 30-40% of your damage output for turns.
Right.
Yeah.
It's also one of the reasons I've found that FAB is very hard to fatigue. 3 damage over and over and over and over across the course of a game without burning a card is very powerful. Insidious Chill against FAB, that's interesting. I am not a fan of playing, I mean, like, as like a newer player to Iyslander. Obviously Majin has way more experience, so I would definitely trust his decisions here. But from me, from an outsider standpoint, looking in on Iyslander, I think that a 2-block card that doesn't really have an impact on the game, in the way I play the deck, doesn't seem like it fits very well, but I'm curious to see how that card plays out in this matchup.
Insidious Chill also gets less value against decks running Belittle. And speaking of Belittle, we have one being played. Of note, it's a yellow.
Yes, yellow Belittle. You will bring in every copy of Belittle you have in this matchup. Ooh, Belittle plus Art of War. This is great. So now we know Will has the Salt the Wound in hand, and he has a blue to get around any frostbites that he might be dealing with. So this is powerful.
not seeing the arsenal being played already kind of indicates that might be an attack in the arsenal.
Very likely it could be a red card, yeah. Banished the Salt the Wound with the Art of War. I'm thinking Will runs multiple copies of Salt the Wound so that he can indeed go get it off the mask later.
Art of War off Tunic is just really powerful.
The Belittle, I believe, was off the Tunic, right?
Oh, was
Yep.
it? Okay.
Yeah. And then the Art of War
Either
played
way.
with the blue. Yeah, either way, extremely powerful. Yeah, absolutely.
Turning your Tunic into a blue. Always good.
We doing a... Did he do draw a card here? Maybe he did go again with the Art of War?
Yep. I would think he would put a dice on the Art of War if it was +1.
Let's hope he would for our sake, right?
Oh.
Oh, okay.
Okay, that
So he probably just did draw a card and buff with the Art of War, but the hypothermia here is... That's disgusting.
Actually, that kind of worked out for Will because he invested everything in one attack.
Yep.
And so there's minimal value. Whereas if he would have kept the Salt the Wound and like tried to
Yeah.
do that whole chain, he could have got really punished there. So
Yeah.
Good on Will for playing that out that way.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Is any particular reason he did... Oh wait, no. Belittle has natural go again. Never mind. Ignore me. I'm dumb.
Yep.
Here comes another Insidious Chill.
Yep. If Will was paying attention, he got flashed a brain freeze.
Which means he knows he doesn't have to play around Frostbite, which is super important.
Yep. He also wants to get rid of his zeros. But so double Insidious Chill on the board. I mean, he's set up right now, but he's also down quite a significant amount of life. So, and there's no... Like, Insidious Chill don't do damage, it just takes tempo.
Yeah, I agree with Alex. I'm not a fan of playing it in this type of matchup, but at the same time, if he can do like a back-to-back-to-back-to-back Ice Vein, that's where you can start running away with the game. But
Fi running red and yellow Belittles actually has a lot of resilience against your disruption.
Yep.
So showing Spreading Flames here. Does the Iyslander want to respond? Looks like no.
Is this the second yellow belittle or the third?
So the Brain Freeze can take away the...
I believe second.
This is the second yellow belittle.
Ooh, flashing him the
Freeze here.
blizzard too.
So the... So he's... Wait, he's playing Blizzard?
No.
No. He's fusing with... I think Will is... Unless I missed something.
How did he pitch for...
So the Insidious Chill triggers happen before...
Oh, sure, he's paying for the chill. That makes sense.
Okay.
But did he pay for both of them? Did he discard something?
He had two floating off the E-Pot and the
Gotcha.
Minnow for the second.
Gotcha.
So currently he has one floating.
So that blizzard could shut the turn down, right, at this point?
He forgot his Tunic, didn't he?
At this point, I don't think you actually play the Blizzard either way, because like you've already shut the turn down.
Oh,
pretty
look
hard.
at that.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Although that's a
Tiger
blue
Shark
ice thing.
Chico.
That's
Blue Ice Fang going away is kind of nice.
yeah, it's a good card in this situation.
I'm assuming he's got a red one in hand. Yeah, actually the blue snatch is making a comeback, Josh, with the extra belittles in the deck. It's a pretty good target.
Interesting. All right,
Yeah.
here's where we're gonna get all the tempo in the world here.
That's what I was saying. Since he blocked with a blue one, he probably has a red one.
If it's possible, Will could possibly structure the triggers in a way that he could be left with no cards in hand and maybe some resources floating to be able to pick the discard on the Ice Vein at the end. That would be ideal, but probably not possible with AB1.
So looks like you probably discard a red card, pay, let's see, pay 2 for one of the chills, AB1, the Ice Vein, and then pay 2 for the discard trigger on Ice Vein. And then leave yourself with 1 floating for the moon if he does it, which you only had 1 card in hand, so.
So hopefully here he has a 0 for 4.
That would be excellent.
Ideal.
I believe it's a 1 for 4 if I'm not mistaken, right? Didn't when he brain freezed? Oh, Will.
Your tunic. Oh, that was
okay. we'll slide it in there. No, they probably communicated that with each other. He was probably like tunic, blaze headlong.
Well, blaze headlong is probably the best thing you can do when you know your opponent has a blizzard in the arsenal. Just gonna leak the damage here.
So Will's in good shape here. He's already made it through 4 Insidious Chill triggers and still has a 13 life lead and is getting 2 for 1 here. So I would say that Will's pretty ahead right now.
Yeah, nice, comfortable 13-point life lead. Which is one of the hardest things to do against Iyslander, is actually maintain a significant lead. Walking the life totals down together is one of the worst things you can do against them.
Yep, here's 2 cards for 4 arcane. It's about as efficient as vacuuming your front yard. Gets the job done sometimes. You know?
Unless Will has an abundance of blues here, I can't see him stopping any of this arcane.
No, there's no way you stop. Even if you do, I mean, I think you like keep it just because. Isn't that blizzard still on the loose? Isn't that what's in the arsenal?
Yeah, I believe you're correct.
Yeah, so even if he had double blue here, I think you still just hang on to it to make sure that nothing happens.
Right.
That blizzard's worth 3 on the opponent's turn.
Yep.
We haven't seen any new Dynasty cards yet in this match, right?
Nope.
No, I remember what I was talking about before I disconnected. I don't think Dynasty affects any of these decks at the moment.
Yeah, these in specific, I believe, are kind of, I don't think they really get too much value out of Dynasty. But if somebody on the KFAB or somebody on our team is playing, per se, Dash or something like that, then we'll probably see some new cards. But the Kano that I played in round 1 had about 8 different new cards in his deck. I was having to read a lot of cards.
That's your specialty though, right?
What, reading cards?
Yes.
Yeah.
Unlike the other commentator here. Right?
He doesn't like to read cards.
Like, I hate reading cards.
Roll Tide.
It's the worst.
Just tell me what it does.
I just play 0 for 4, so that's all I do.
Yep.
True.
Numbers are easy to read.
So, did Majin take the 3 damage off the Spreading Flames? I'm assuming he did, since I didn't see a block. Will has the second blue,
Double
so
blues here.
yeah, very, very good for the Blizzard.
Very, very strong hand here. Of note, we haven't actually seen him use his hit, like, other than like one of the early turns. Slam ability.
Well, you're about to see it here.
Yep.
Well, it's hard to do it when you're paying 2 Insidious Trill triggers.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But this is a good little turn right here.
Yeah, through a Blizzard, this is fantastic.
That's coming in and hot for
2.
2 from spreading. Does he have a little card to finish?
Little something, something.
Oh my god. Alex, that video you sent was the best.
2 go again, 1 go again, 2 go again, 3 go again.
I'm not gonna ruin it for anybody, but the end is just
That was a good video.
4 on hit draw. Very nice. Are we gonna see a cornet peak plus a block here?
There's a very decent chance because he's not. If he's cornet peaking on his turn, he's losing the game. So the value of the effect is pretty much zero right here.
And because Will is not running Snapdragons, there's no way for him to max punish here, right?
Any card that he draws in his deck, though, is basically good.
Yes.
Yep. Like, literally, there's not a single card in his deck. Like, even if you draw
Ooh.
Oh, he's gonna give him Tunic.
And a Channel Lake Frigid.
Okay.
I don't know why you wouldn't just give the cornet peak there, but okay. Like, it seems like the Tunic would be more useful for the Storm Striders, right? Than the... I don't know.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Seems like Majin's... Oh, the Snatch. Look at that.
I don't know.
I think here you just give him the 4 armor, right? Just say, forget Mask.
Probably.
You don't want to give up any tempo when Iyslander off of an arsenal. Like, unless he just has a doo-doo hand, then, you know.
Yep.
Also, is there, I mean, like Josh was saying, like Coronet Peak plus Snatch block on the Snatch full covers it, and then you get to Arsenal a Channel Lake Frigid for his 4-card hand.
I would pick that, especially because like Will's already went through like 6 blues.
Right.
So like his blue count ratio at the top of his deck is probably on the lower side, so you can like catch him real good with a channel. Probably.
Right, and also Will still has all his armor, so like the Snatch isn't too much of a threat.
Yep.
And you're gonna leave yourself without an arsenal. I don't know how I feel about that play.
Yep.
I would have favored the channel, but
yeah.
Each his own.
No, but like I said, Majin knows this deck inside and out. He's played very well throughout the the other league, and
in terms of 1-card hands, like Red Snatch is like way up there. Like it's indirectly very defensive as well because it's like cutting even a single card from Fi's hand often reduces his damage output by a tremendous amount.
Yeah, but when he's got 4 armor sitting on the board, maybe not.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking as well.
I don't know about that.
That definitely doesn't seem right.
If he rips a blue ice off.
I mean, he could have put a Channel Lake or something busted in Arsenal. Like that's a really risky play, given him. I mean, his hand must be great for him to not block there.
And it's only a 4-card hand here. It's not a 5-card hand. So it's like a 4-card hand into an Iyslander with Insidious Chill, especially with the Insidious Chill on the board. Like,
yeah. I don't know about this, but he must have like Tunic counter into Belittle or Tunic counter into Art of War or something. I don't know.
Like Flame Call Awakening as an opener, it's just not good enough.
Nope.
That is not good enough.
I'm curious to see what the rest of his hand is here, so we can dissect that play.
Yep.
And to see how punishing this Arsenal from Iyslander is going to be.
My prediction is he's going to block with 2 cards this turn, and then Wounded Bull from Arsenal.
Some attack is very likely, because we haven't seen too many of them yet, right?
Well, he's blocking with the Ice Vein, right? So that's already like scary.
This 8-point life lead feels a little.
It's diminishing now.
Yeah.
Majin's really
thinking.
thinking.
See, like, how big of the pouncing links. Like, it's basically who gets more value, the wizard's boots or the ninja's headpiece. So that's what it's going to come down to here.
Once the chills are gone, it very well could be Mask. He's got to get through that last one.
Right. Ooh, taking some
blocks.
damage here. Uh-oh.
Oh.
That hand is gas.
E-strike here, right?
Yep.
If the Fi moves the Phoenix Flame into his hand instead of putting it on the combat shade, it's E-strike.
Well, also fun to note there, you don't actually have to tell your opponent that you put the Phoenix Flame on the bottom. When you have 2 cards in hand, he should have shuffled his hand and then put the card secretly on the bottom, so Majin doesn't know the last card in his hand. But he can assume, but
that you put.
Yeah, knowledge is power, though. Not knowledge is power.
Yep.
I guess there is some of an advantage of showing it because now you're saying, look, I promise you,
I
promise you
mean,
this squad is better than Phoenix
yeah,
Phoenix.
that's like that's disrespectful.
It's like it's probably a Snatch or a Lavaverse, you know, like.
Ooh.
He's not letting this hit because he's worried about or he is gonna let it hit. Oh, so do we trigger mask? Oh, let's go.
Well, it depends. Did he give this lightning strike go again? Which I'm assuming he did.
He did.
Yoink!
That's too good.
Oh!
That's too good.
And then he's got Flipper's mask here for this too. If he
He's gonna go reach and get another one. Oh, that's too good.
Iyslander's in trouble here.
Yep, that does not trigger Shuko, unfortunately. So we trigger what?
Oh,
Whoa!
whoa. Wait a second.
We gotta use our flippy floppies.
Oh, come on. Let's get flippy flopping.
That would have been devastating there.
Yeah, would have won the game.
Yeah.
Why didn't we flippy flops?
We better use the armor then if we're not using flippy floppies. Come on now. Use the armor wheel. You might not get a shot. Oh, Lord.
I bet that's another big dumb red attack in his arsenal.
That's a wounded bull, I already told you.
Yep.
That's a good start.
That's a good one. That's
Is
also a
it
good card.
Possible that he's looking at mask and being like, no, I gotta grab.
Oh, this round's on me from the arsenal. Hello.
I like that play. I wish Briar could do it.
Yep. That's a good one. You gotta creepers. That's the only way you can do it.
Yeah. But he does give him a card.
Man, I'm still mad about the flip flops.
Draw your card, Will. What you doing?
Wait, hold on. Did he not go get the?
He's supposed to get a minnow and draw a card from this round's on me.
Hold on. Did he not draw a card?
He drew a card first, and now he's going to tutor the minnowism. He just happened to draw a.
Okay.
I think he drew a. Yeah.
What?
This rounds on me was before the belittle trigger resolved.
In that case, wouldn't you want to let the belittle trigger resolve first and then play the this rounds on me so that you give him the opportunity to draw the card that he wants to search? But I mean, I guess he hasn't shuffled yet, probably, so it's probably still in the bottom of his deck. But
yep.
All I know is I'm confused.
Well, he drew a card from this rounds on me and then went and searched, so he got the right number of cards, right?
But he showed a minnow and put it into his hand and then went and got one. I think
No, he showed a Ronin Renegade. It's still on the board.
No, he showed it above his pitch
He showed
zone.
a blue.
Oh.
Yes.
Yep.
Like,
now,
I think he has 2 minnows in his hand. I don't know why.
Gotcha.
There.
I believe so as well. Well, when the opponent is blocking with red giant attacks, that's good.
Yes.
Okay, here.
And this rounds on me doesn't affect the sword, right?
Hopefully, we're gonna have some redemption here.
Yeah.
Lavaverse.
Please.
Lavaverse into something.
He took.
Come on, Will.
Hold on. Did he just take 2 from that? Does that affect the sword too?
It does. It's all attacks.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. That's great.
It's pretty good. Pretty good. Another belittle?
Only got 2 Draconics. You still got 1 floating.
Pop the mask, Will. What are you doing? God. Okay. That'll be. Oh. It's not base attacks. That sucks. Shuko would not trigger if it drops to, because it has to be base. So the Phoenix Flame would have went in for 0. All right, block with your armor, Will. We've trained for this.
I mean,
At least give him Shuko.
You know how I talk about opponent tendencies. In the longer the match goes, he's already shown that he has no proclivity to using his armor for this. Like this is something that you like. I think Majin knows that he's not going to block with his armor.
Well, I guess here he already has a card that he wants to
Yeah.
put in Arsenal, so it's like it's actually not the worst. But
Yeah, it's not exactly the same situation.
I would give him at least Shuko to save the health. Maybe keep Mask if I knew I could play it next turn to close it out.
Yeah, there's not many chances where you're actually going to have the...
Will, wrong armor.
Yep, that was the wrong armor. Yes.
But okay, we'll see. I guess he's got another blue. Okay, all right.
Well, we knew he had the other minnow, right? So like that's the one you knew he had. And I'm assuming the Phoenix Flame is in the arsenal, and we don't know the other card in hand, right?
Correct. That
Okay.
It feels like there is a Ice Eternal in Majin's arsenal.
That would be pretty disgusting.
Based on how he blocked 2 turns ago. I mean, that whatever that arsenal card is more valuable than
Ice Eternal's not good here.
He doesn't have frost hexes, so.
No, sorry. It's okay, never mind. That's also a good card too.
That is a good card.
That's not too bad. It's not too bad. Because it's like pseudo. It's like
Channel Lake Bridget.
It's like Quell before Quell existed, you know?
Yeah, sure.
Yep.
3 arcane. Gonna prevent 1, take 2, go to 14. He draw his card, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, he drew his card.
Yeah, because he blocked with the card.
Yep. Spreading Flames. Is he taking 2?
Yeah, I think if he would have Tide Flippers into Mask on that Lava Burst, I think that would have been game.
It had to have been, right? Like, because that was 6 extra damage, and he would have saved how much, whatever damage that Fighting Spirit did back to him. Because the Fighting Spirit gained him a life, and did damage. Like that was just, that was gross. Do you have another blue in hand?
Of course not.
Is this the second or third Blizzard?
Second, I believe.
What you got? Pitch 2 reds?
Pitching 2 red doesn't do anything.
That's the only way to get around that Frostbite Blizzard if you don't got a blue. So he's just not gonna pay for it, I guess. He's gonna block 3. Now he's in the danger zone.
Yep.
Where Majin's got the ability to throw some 0-cost red attack at him, arsenal something good, and then Storm Striders next turn.
Well,
if he gets him low enough.
It gets even worse because now you know 2 cards in Will's hand are red, and he could not draw a blue.
Oh, dodged an attack. That's good.
So if one of those 2 top cards is not blue, then this is going to be rough.
I don't know. I think the Arsenal's a blue Ice Vein. Oh. Oh.
Got him.
Got the blue.
Alright, he does have the blue.
3 go again. No, this round's on me this time. A blue Ice Vein from Arsenal would be absolutely disgusting here. Although he probably wants to save that for his turn, right? So if he
wants to strip the hand and then blast him on his turn.
Yep. Ooh, the Blaze Hedgehog is really, really good here.
Yep.
Blaze Hedgehog.
Yep.
This is gonna probably leak the damage here.
Call this the 420 card, and hits for 4, blocks for 2, costs 0. Down to 3.
You better pop that mask, Will. God.
Nobody needs to pop that card. Oh my gosh, it's just sitting there.
It's to get a blue. like guaranteed sword swing. Like get that shit out of there.
Does
Yep.
he have another flame in
Is-
in the bin?
I'm wondering, does he just not see the line because
Ugh.
he's so used to using the equipment in a very particular way?
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's what I'm almost like. People will be like, he might not even realize that that is a possibility to do.
Oh, here's the
Like,
bull.
oh, you really need a blue. Use the map to go get a blue. Like, I didn't think about that, even though I'm not a 5 player. But like, it's possible he'd ever even thought of that line.
Well, if he's not going to use it, he needs to block for 4 with his armor here, and then hit him with a 5-card hand to end the game. Because if he blocks for if he blocks for 4, he'll only take 4 down to 10. I don't think there's any card in Majin's deck that can do 10 damage arcane with the Striders.
Well, what's gonna happen is he's gonna have to Striders anything in his hand that has Ice Fusion, just to strip the hand with Insidious Chills. Like that's the only way he's gonna be able to survive the turn.
Right.
So he's gonna have to use his Storm Striders defensively.
He's drawing single cards, hoping he can.
No,
Yeah.
So it's that he has to.
Oh,
right
that's a rough one.
Oh.
And he gets the blue. Okay.
And he knows he's out of blizzards, so that's something.
Does he even have any more blue minimalisms?
They're all in the deck. Yeah.
Okay.
They just recycle over and over. That's why they just play one a lot of times.
10 health, I think, is just barely out of kill range here.
Yeah.
And be 1 as well.
Well, Red Ice Vein plus Waning Moon is just 8 damage. I think 8's pretty much the most they can do without an arsenal. As long as they're not like on the Frost Hex plan and everything.
I think he's thinking about whether he wants to stride. Oh, see, actually, no, he just loses here because he doesn't have Tunic counter because he gave it up a little too early, and so it's going to be a double pitch, have a card to fuse, and then fuse. That's 1 card in hand, which he'll have to block the Belittle, and then the Ronin will kill him if he doesn't get every single card. Because even a Sword Swing puts him to 1 with no cards and no Striders. So, like, I don't think there's any way. I don't think there's any way here.
Did somebody mention tutoring a blue card to swing sword? Somebody in our chat saying something about that. Because that does not work.
No?
What do you mean?
Mask tutors to banish.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I missed that, or I would have corrected you. Yeah. We're just tutoring hard damage. That's all we're doing.
Yep. There's a reason why I haven't seen that, huh?
Mask.
Still know that it should have been on the Lava Burst. That's 100%.
It should have been Flippies, Lava Burst, Flippies, Lava Burst would have been good there. So the fact that Majin's taking this long to decide what to do is a good thing for Will. That means the line is not obvious. Especially when you're playing against somebody that's a veteran of a class. If they take a long time to decide on something, it's probably a situation they haven't been in before.
Right. Alright, let's see what we got here. 1 cost card. Is this an Aether Hail just to put a Frostbite on the board and hope for the best?
And Hypothermia is not a...
No, it can't be Aether Hail. It has to be a fuse card. Yeah, it has to be a fuse card.
Okay. Brain Freeze. Oh, he was paying 1 for the Striders. Duh.
Yeah.
Brain
Freeze.
Fuse with Frosting.
Fuse it with the Frosting. Double Insidious trigger here.
So you can pay for 1, discard a card with the other. He still has to block with that, so he's got 2 cards in his hand that block. I think.
Oh, get wrecked.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mine. So banish.
That's good, because that's basically 1 free Insidious trigger, and so he can actually just double. No, he should double discard here. And then
Oh,
just
my
win.
Lanta.
Just win the game. Just win the game.
Oh, jeez.
He said, "I'll take that."
He still has to. Okay, so he can pay for all of it there.
but I don't think that's correct unless that's not a 0 cost, because then that gets put on top. So he should have just discarded. See, that's what I meant when he should have floated the 2.
Oh, the brain freeze goes on. It puts that card on top. It puts the
Yeah.
last card on top.
But if there's an attack in Arsenal, that's game, because that keeps him
He
off an
takes
Arsenal.
1, and
Nope.
he didn't have an attack. Oh, okay. Well, the Striders are gone, so
He knows Frosting's in the arsenal as well.
yeah.
There's not a lot of arcane damage coming. It's just
He has to have a turn where he strips his entire hand, though. Getting 2 points of damage across should not be that difficult, but if he has the extra resources here, he needs to pay. Alright, we're blocking there. I'm assuming we're gonna pitch a blue swing sword. Get one more card out of hand. All he needs to do is attack him 2 more times with 3 cards. Okay, yeah, that's a great card to follow up with. Because that means the next one's lethal, and then any of his other 2 cards can finish the game.
Yep. That should close it, because he can have a 0 for 4 here to just end it.
That's
1 for 4.
yeah, 1 for 4 is fine too. Yep. Good game, good game.
Yeah.
A lot of interesting things I'm not used to seeing in this matchup here. Alright, so that concludes game 2. Card Guyz take game 2. We are now up 2-0. That was a great game, very, very close down at the end. It looked like it shouldn't have been that close, but maybe we can get Will in here to go over a couple of his decisions that he made. We'll see if he's up for it. Oh, there he is. Nice, good win, Will. GG. We need to ask you about a couple of things. Okay.
Well, I'll admit, I think there was some places I could have taken Mask of the Pound.
Okay, all right. As long as you recognize that, that was one of our biggest questions. There was a turn when you hit him with a big old fat lava burst, and we were like, all right, here comes the pouncing links, and then you just didn't do it and got hit in the face with a Finals Fighting Spirit, so that was rough.
Yeah, that was actually the main place where I thought about using it. I don't know why I felt like I wanted to save it for the perfect moment, but you know what it did do? It blocked for 2.
It could have attacked. It could have attacked for 6, but it blocked for 2. But anyways, that was a good game. We were kind of intrigued by the Insidious chills. Are you having played against Icelanders with fire? Are they usually putting Insidious chill in the game against you, or is that something abnormal?
I think he might have been a little bit abnormal. At the same time, though, I mean, it can totally screw up your turn if they just slam a fuse at you at the wrong time. But
Absolutely.
No, I think it might have been slightly abnormal, though, because I haven't ran into that too much in testing.
All right. Well, are there any particular plays during that game you want to go over? Like any particular swing moments in the game?
There was a turn where I finished with a snatch, and he was telling me how he was doing the math in his head, and he's like, the only thing I'm scared of here is a red snatch, and it's what I had. And I was telling him if he had let the Phoenix Flame hit it, because he used his Ironhide gauntlets to stop it, I was considering grabbing, breaking the Mask of the Pouncing Links to grab Yellow Brand to have the snatch come in for 5. Ultimately, I think that's just a little silly, probably not worth it, but we were both laughing about that in the game.
Yeah. Well,
no, all in all, I think it was a pretty standard match. It's just, he even said it at the end of the match, like, Belittle's a good card. Like, I run 3 yellow Belittles for the Iyslander matchup. It helps you get through all the frostbites.
Yep. Yeah, you had 2 blues thanks to that Belittle on a really key turn where he blizzarded you, and you were able to push through. It's always good to be able to push through on those turns. He had a turn where he decided to block with a Channel Lake Frigid, I believe it was, and
that was my snatch.
And keep a snatch and throw a snatch at you.
Yeah, I was talking to him about that. I thought the snatches were an interesting inclusion.
Yeah.
I suppose it's just something you don't want to block, and if he gets an arsenal off of it, then goody for him. I thought it was all right.
Yeah. Yeah, the snatches were interesting. I enjoyed seeing that.